ain't you tryna go be? Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. I'm with the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it. Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I just got bags from Prada. Rolling up. I'm in the brand.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Orlando Wizards. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch his slant, watch his slant. Watch his slant, watch his slant. He's checking. That's in.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction, and when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Mike spot
319.
Mike spot 4. Hey, get in the weight room.
Alert.
Hey, one set. Check, Mike.
Hey, exit.
54.
I got it.
Right there. 54. Right there. 54, Mike.
Go.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Well, they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Kareem Hunt with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Josh Lambo now for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Down. 50. Plant.
Steady situation. Let's go.
5.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money, because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start, both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
56.
50.
Hey, zoom.
Hey, Mike 50. Mike 50. I'm coming, baby. Woo! 50's the mic. Yeah. You don't want it.
Tight.
On 2nd and 9, Allen. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down.
All day, every day, any day.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57.
From the gun, it's Allen. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 15.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
80 weapons.
From the gun, Clifford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
On first down, here's Breida. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Echo.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards on the play, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, Charlie.
Oh, you got deep?
57's Mike. Mike 57. Yo.
Now Allen. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Alert!
57's the Mike.
Throwing is Allen on third. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
.319.
57's the Mike. Exit.
That's it.
On second down, a run with Breida. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
Mike 57.
Hey, high 7.
On third and long, it's Allen. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jordan Franks, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
49, check 49.
Yeah.
On second down, here's Mixon. And some space here. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon, 79 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. It's a touchdown. He goes 91 yards on the kick return. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together, but that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Off the play fake. Clifford, he's going to air one out, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
To throw on third down, Clifford. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
First down, Bengals.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Nixon will try the right side. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. 10 Lobo. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6.
To throw on second down. Clifford. Open man is Ross. Complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Off play action. Clifford going deep for Hopkins. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Check 43.
They'll start on the ground with Breida, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run.
At the 38-yard line.
On second and 9, Allen. They'll set up a screen for Breida. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. looks to throw on 3rd and 1. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now! Let's go!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Airing one out for Boyd. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Clifford. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Clifford. And a catch made by Hopkins. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Let's go!
A gain of 14. 1st down, Bengals.
Ready, set.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Rush in! Rush in!
Ready?
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Recon, 132 fighting.
Off the play fake. Clifford. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Here's a run with Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and they're back within a touchdown at 21-14. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left early in November, but they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
36-yard line.
Hey, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I'm scared. Hey, 50.
On 1st down, Allen. It got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Bravo.
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To the air, Allen, he's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you cross town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Again, it's Mixon. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Set, ready? 60 outlaw.
You must be treated. 25.
X3. 218. Chop.
Check. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Smoke.
Off play action. Clifford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball.
And nothing but daylight ahead. The 30, 10, and touchdown. Matt Breida, an 80-yard touchdown. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
I'm coming.
5.
Throwing on first down. Clifford. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Check nickel.
Now it's Breida. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
A 31-yard attempt.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that'll push the lead up to 17. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not... fun to watch.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Going deep for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. but correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing on 3rd and long. Clifford. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked back at the 2.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. $12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased if they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now a toss play. It's Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd down. Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Hey, home. On three. Motion. Half 85.
Hey, Alpha.
On 3rd down, Allen. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. That one goes for 36 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Check 4.
From the 35 on 2nd down, Allen. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On the run, this is Hunt. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1? 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
31, Bengals 14. Josh Lambo on for the field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Clifford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and forever. Operating from the gun, Clifford. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 4th down, Clifford. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Xavier Howard. On 4th down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, 4th down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14.
Hey, Delta.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Ready?
The Bengals drive about to get going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal 1st. Now, defensively here, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
On the double.
50 seconds to mine. Let's go, defense.
From the gun, Clifford. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Clifford, that's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, Clifford. That's to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. A throw over the middle taken in. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Check Mike 57, Mike 57. Let's go.
Operating from the gun, Clifford. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Josh Jones. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. Kareem Hunt, 98 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is now 24. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away.
The Bengals take over. Let's go, 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ready.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
General West.
On 1st down, Clifford going deep for Hopkins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Going deep downfield for Ross. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver, penalty flag had to come out.
Looking to throw. Clifford to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
Exit.
Throwing again. Clifford toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Clifford. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. From the gun. Clifford, he's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. Looks like this one won't work out. Hans team able to secure the football. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen, wide open receiver, complete. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that pushes the lead up to 23. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one covers 29 yards. First down. Off the play fake. Clifford. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. It was Nick Nelson that time who got a hand in to break that one up. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Clifford. He completes it to Boyd. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. On 1st and 10, Clifford. He finds Hopkins complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. 3 bud.
Operating from the gun, Clifford. It's complete to Hopkins. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2.